Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've been teasing about him. We've been talking about him. We've been super excited, even when he came onto the squad a year ago. We are joined right now by the Steelers' 2022 fourth-round pick out of the University of Memphis. We talking about the wide receiver, starting punt returner, Calvin Austin III. Calvin, first off, man, appreciate you joining the squad and appreciate you taking some time to get on the podcast with us today. How is your first season going now, man? Now that you're actually on the field playing.
Man, it's going great. Like I said, I'm glad to talk to you and be on here. But it's going great. Last year just experiencing what I experienced, and going through that whole thing makes me really gain the appreciation for like this season even more. And I've just week by week, you just continue to learn more and more. And I've just been blessed to be on this team with the teammates and everything because, it's been so much, adversity and, outside
absolutely.
noise and stuff. But I think we've truly stuck together. And, it's just shown me, just how, there's going to be things that happen. But if you stick together and your brother got your back, nothing can crack you.
Hey, that's that Steeler way. That's what we talk about
Still
all
away,
the time.
100%.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Now, I also wanted to ask, man, since this is actually your first season being on the field, granted, we know you were here last year, but in terms of it now really happening for you, has it lived up to whatever your personal expectations were in terms of you getting on that field and playing in the National Football League?
Yes, and it kind of exceeded them. It's kind of surreal to me. Like each time we enter a stadium, like we drive up, like I'm just like
It's
looking
probably
around.
your first
Like
time seeing it in person. Yeah,
exactly. Like I haven't been to and like my first NFL game was the Bengals game last year. You know what I'm saying? It's like
okay.
I had never been to an NFL game or anything, so every experience. That's why like sometimes I just have to like. With me, I'm just like, let me be where my feet is. Because, like, every moment is something new, like the stadiums. Happens. Like, I'm like, when we was in Seattle, I'm like,
I get it, bro.
That was like, I'm like, man, I've been watching ESPN, seeing people talk about the crowd noise, this and that. Like, now I'm on the field, playing here. So that's why each week is like literally surreal for me. And I'm just thankful each week because I'm truly living out my dream.
No, I love it, man. I love the excitement too that you have because we all go through that, man. Shoot, I remember my first year, I'm taking pictures on the logo and warm-ups before everybody come out. I'm like, yo, let me get this selfie so my peoples know I really was here, man. Absolutely. I get it, bro.
I think I'm playing. I'm really
I get it, man. Absolutely. Yeah. So what would you say has been the most exciting aspect for you this season?
Of course, being on the field has been, probably the most exciting, but I'll say something. I'll go a kind of a different route.
Yeah.
I would say like learning from guys like Allen Robinson has probably been like the most like exciting thing that I've learned. Cause obviously, ever since I was little, like I've been a football, junkie. So like I know players, know their, I actually watch football, know players. So to me,
Hey, you're a football guy. You're a football guy.
So
you know that. Yeah.
Guy. So I already knew A-Rob, but like really getting to be on a team with him, talk to him, like I've gained a whole new like outlook on just like being a player in this league. And it's crazy because like I can just literally sit and talk to A-Rob and listen to him for hours because this is going on his 10th year in the league.
Yeah, man. He did absolutely
all pro 1,000-yard receiver records, all that. So like he's telling me how the NFL used to be when he first got in the league, how it's changed now, things to do to stay ahead. And I'm just like, that's probably the most exciting because, like, when people talk about, veteran presence on the team and stuff like that, like him, like learning from an A-Rob has really like just really like changed my just career. I'm young, but really changed my career and just how I just view football and just going forward, how to just handle myself and like basically get the most out of my potential, and not look back and be like, man, I should have did this, or man, I missed out on this. I should have did. No, like I'm learning all of that from A-Rob, how to stay ahead of the game.
Hey, sometimes, man, that's a blessing to have a vet like that, man, because that's the difference, man, between dudes in years 1, 2, and 3 developing. And now when it's your turn, a couple years from now, when you're the vet, That's how
Yep.
that thing comes full circle. But you need dudes
Full
like
circle.
A-Rob in there, man. So now that's dope to hear that, man.
Exactly. Yep.
Now, you talked about some of the adversity that you and the Steelers have faced this year. This question comes from the chat. I'm also curious about this too. What's it like having to build rapport with new quarterbacks so often with the injuries and how, Kenny, Mitch, and Mason have all been in and out of the lineup? How does that affect you and the guys in the receiver room?
So that's been probably one of the things that I feel like, outside and probably on other teams, some other teams, it could be an issue. But with the three quarterbacks that we have, so for instance, like let's just start with Mitch. So Mitch obviously has already played with Allen Robinson.
Mhm.
He started last year, so he already got experience with Tay and GP. And throughout camp this year, he was going with the twos. So I was going with him majority of the time. And so boom, you put that aspect in, and so it's like he already had that, camaraderie and that kind of time with everybody. And then you go with somebody like Mason. So Mason, when he was coming in, obviously he was going with, at first when Camp first started, Kenny was going with the threes, Mason was going with the twos. So, I was building rapport with Mason. And obviously Mason has been a guy that started in the league and he played with Tay. So Tay already got that camaraderie with him. And anybody throwing the ball to GP is pretty easy,
Hey, put it up there, baby, one time.
Right. And so and all three, and then obviously we've had tons of time with Kenny. So it's like that's been probably one of the smoothest and easiest adjustments to where we have such confidence from the receivers, O-line coaches, in whatever quarterback is in there, that like we don't like have to change anything. We don't have to, okay, let's go to the drawing board because this guy can only do this, or you know what I'm saying? It's not and you can actually feel like that there isn't any like tense when like, okay, whoever's up, like whoever's the Q, like, we got three capable Qs on the roster. So like it's, next man up,
absolutely.
Let's roll. So so that's why it's been a pretty smooth transition. But like I about to say, I know college is different, but we had some QB issues in college. My last year with injury and stuff, and it was like when the starter was down, like heads were turning, things were flailing, like people
they start panicking. You know that?
Yeah, start panicking. Like so that's why I like feeling here. I'm like, oh, we good. Like it was literally no panic. It's okay. Let's go do this walkthrough. Let's go do the plays and let's go. Like it's no hesitation.
Hey, look, and the whole time Coach T over there talking with some next man up. You know we on. We ain't tripping.
How Coach T gonna
cut
come.
Him off,
He's
man.
not gonna even let you panic. He ain't gonna panic. So it's like, oh, Coach T ain't panicking. Oh, we good.
Right, we straight. If he chill, I'm chill here, man. Absolutely.
Thanks.
Absolutely. Now, in the intro, man, I talked about you being a 4th round selection, in the draft. But talk a little bit about your NFL draft story. Did you know you were coming here to Pittsburgh? Was there any inkling? Or did you think you were going to go earlier to a different team potentially, man?
So my senior year in college, so Kevin Colbert, he came to a couple of our practices, and I talked to him there, but, that was during the season, so I didn't really put too much, hay into that. But then, throughout the process, I actually did not talk to the Steelers really at all. Like I talked to our Coach Jackson, our receiver coach, one time during the combine, and it went great for sure. But
everybody
honestly,
loves you at the combine. You know that. Come on, man. Everybody love you over there.
Exactly. So I'm like trying to really see what teams it could be, because watching, and that's what people understand. Like, we're watching the draft just like everybody else.
Seriously.
Just waiting for that phone to ring. And so, when the picks are coming up, I'm trying to see what teams I've talked to the most, really been on Zoom calls with and stuff like that. So, I'm kind of looking at the Titans, Green Bay, and a couple other teams. But honestly, Pittsburgh wasn't even on my radar at all. And that's why I told somebody the other day, I was like, when I heard Coach T voice on the phone, I'm like, hold on, wait, is this really Coach Tomlin on the phone? Like the legend Coach Tomlin on the phone, like talking to me? Like, and so, cause I was like, I really had literally no idea. Cause I'm like, I'm looking at the picks ahead. I'm like, okay,
Right.
Pittsburgh, nah, they ain't good. I don't really talk to
My
them.
man
No,
say,
no.
yo, they only sent 2 people to visit me. Now, granted, it
It's,
was the
yeah,
GM and the
GM.
receivers
Look,
coach. I'm like, bro,
I said, look,
what we
that hold a
talking
little
about?
weight, huh?
Yeah.
That hold a little weight.
I'm like, they ain't
And
just send the
so,
scout, the regional scout to you. Nah,
yeah, he
that's
just
the GM, man.
GM.
Yeah.
And so that's why I had kind of like, I hadn't even thought about that actually, meaning something, And so that's why I'm looking at the picks. I'm like, no, no. And that's why I'm like, when they called, I almost like, it kind of like, I almost blacked out because I was like,
Man, yeah.
this is a storied French. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to just was thinking, I'm like, and there's sometimes,
Uh-huh.
just based on there's teams you like, you don't really
But
want,
like, look, this ain't, I
like you
know
gonna
they
be
ain't
happy
picking me. Yeah,
regardless. But
yeah.
yeah, you know how it is. So I'm like, when I'm like, but I was like, that's nothing but God. Like, bless me to be in the best with the greatest franchise
No,
and
seriously,
the
man.
best possible situation, because just you can go into some places and the situation
Uh-huh.
be the thing that hurt you, but just as the stability, the story, the history behind it's just it precedes itself. You don't even have to say anything.
Nah, that's the facts, man. And honestly, when I think of myself, man, I always say, you get drafted to a place like Pittsburgh where you top down stability, the Rooneys. You
Yep.
talking about Coach T. You talking about even GM, right? Kevin Colbert
Mm-hmm.
shifting, but it's
Yep.
going to Omar Khan, who's already been there for a while. It's just a different energy in that building compared to other
Yep.
places, man. So, nah, man, that's a
And that's
blessing
what,
for
and you
you,
know
man.
what? Going off that, because I was talking to one of the receivers today. He was talking about how like he was like telling me like since I haven't been on another team, he was like how big of a blessing it is to be with a team that like
Seriously, man.
is a winning team. Because he was
Mm-hmm.
like, some people been on teams and never win, never have won,
Listen,
have losing records and
you'll
stuff.
play
I'm just
4
like,
years and they'll be like, you only won 10 games. You like, huh? How you do that in
like
4
how y'all
years?
do that? But
Yeah,
he was
it's
like,
real.
but I think the receiver was like, you're actually learning and seeing how to actually win in this league.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I didn't even think of it like that, but I truly am.
Now, going back to that time period around the draft, what's the deal with your 40 time? There's like a conspiracy, there's a controversy with
What's
it.
the real one? What's your real number, man?
It's saying 4-3
So look,
on
I
Google.
saw how the clock. I
Okay,
saw
go
how
ahead.
the clock crossed the little, and it
Mhm.
said like something crazy, like 4.0. But one thing about the combine that was a little weird to me, it was guys will run their time, and then they'll come back and they'll be like official time is
Yeah,
something like
totally different. Yep.
different, faster,
Mhm.
and like my time and my TV time was the exact same. Like it didn't. My
Yeah, that's
official
crazy.
time was the time that posted. So like I'm not gonna say it was a conspiracy or nothing like that, but I also think though too, I did run 4.32, which was cool, but I only ran it once. But like I definitely mean I can go for it too.
You said it like you were so
So like
disappointed. He said,
yeah, no,
yeah,
that's
I
why I
did
said
four
like
three
I
two.
said
It was
4.32
cool. I
was
said,
cool.
God.
It was cool, but it's like I feel like I still could have, but the people I trained with, my agents, they did a great job of looking out for me, wanting what's best for me, and
Yeah.
I did. All I was doing was just trying to take my coaching and listen. So after that first one, I just went ahead and got ready for the other things because that day during the combine, it was
Oh
only
yeah.
me and so I did the punt returns and stuff too. I called punts and kicks from the jug machine, and then it was like me and only like 2 other receivers that did everything, like the 5-10-5
Mm-hmm.
at the end after all the
Hey,
routes
cause talk about it,
and
Calvin.
the
It's dudes that
and
don't
the
do
L
drills.
drill.
It's dudes that will
Yeah, so
sit
they
out of
was
certain drills, man. Yeah.
yeah. Say now, but I was like, shoot, I'm an underdog. I'm doing everything. Like I'm trying to put myself out there, how regardless. So I was like, I think that second one would have probably been something crazy. I think.
Hey, look, man, the way you talking about it like that, I'm like, yeah, that sound about right. And it is crazy though that your real end TV time with the same because everybody else that's never the case. It seems like, man.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I'm like, you know what? But look, I ran 4.32. I was like, you know what? I ain't tripping.
Yeah, big facts, man. So shoot, in terms of last year, man, I wanted to go back to the injury and everything, right? Just how were you able to handle getting drafted here? You put your life into this thing, and now your first opportunity, you got to sit. What was that like for you mentally, man? Just not being available to go on the field in a professional capacity, man?
Man, it was tough, especially at first. And cause I mean, it kind of almost feels like, for me, it felt like I was almost like stealing from the team. Cause like, okay, they're paying me, but I haven't, given anything to this organization. I haven't, I haven't sacrificed. I haven't really bled and been on the field, for this organization. So I was just like, I don't know. I was just like, even when I had got told I was gonna have to have surgery, like next day, like I was still lifting, trying to like just lifting. I went to
You was
every
in there
meet
with Sal and Geese trying to lift with the 1 foot. Oh,
one
man,
foot, man. Cause
sheesh.
cause I seriously felt like I was like almost doing like a disservice, like they drafted me 4th round for me to come in and potentially help this team out, and like I can't even do it. And it's like, it's not like I have something that's, I felt I was like, I don't have a leg to stand on, it's like, I don't have I haven't put in any work. And that was really the toughest thing for me, is the fact that I felt like I hadn't given anything, because that's the biggest thing for me, is like, once you, especially with my teammates and stuff like that, like those are people you go to battle with, you sacrifice for, and that's who you do it for. And so I was just like, I felt that was one of the toughest parts for me. But it was just a lesson, God telling me I had to slow down. And like I said, sitting out really gave me like a newfound appreciation for this game that I didn't even know. I thought I loved it the most I could, but I was like, being out, like having an injury where I've never had a a season-ending injury for
sit you
any
down.
sport.
Yeah.
Football, basketball, track, high school, or nothing, So it's like, really sitting you down is a whole new feeling,
Game
especially,
changing.
for us athletes. It's like, because we've always been in sport, in season. And it just gave me a new perspective. But seeing it from the sidelines and everything, made me to where the first preseason game and stuff, like everything was just like easier, everything cool, everything was smooth, like, I ran track all the way through college, and so I was the person, before track meets, races and stuff, sometimes the day before, like I have nerves, like I just be nervous, just
Fast
my nerves.
as you are, you nervous?
Yeah, I used to be nervous. And so,
Jeez.
but like that first game, I'm like, and even for football, sometimes in college, like I'll have some nerves, like pregame nerves and stuff. But that first preseason game versus Tampa, like I came out there and I'm like I felt I was just ready. I was literally ready. I felt good. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is what I'm doing. Like, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is what I'm supposed to be. Like, I waited my time. I grinded. I worked. And like, yes, like I've now, you know what I'm saying? I was like, I felt so ready. And, that was just the biggest blessing. Just, I like you said, sitting out and now being able to play on just to play with this team on the field is just, man, I can't even explain it.
Nah, I like that, man. But shoot, sometimes, man, when it does happen like that and you do got to sit down from injury, shoot, you make the most of it. And that's definitely what it sounds like you did. But more importantly, your actions by your performance on the field has also showed us that you was doing what you were supposed to do, man. So we definitely loving that, man. And the production, like I said, it definitely shows this season, man. But you brought up, having nerves and stuff like that, whether it was for track meets or even sometimes in college, right before some of these games. Well, you're about to have another first. Your first official playoff game. Super wild card weekend, and you on the road. Do you have any nerves or emotions, heading into this game right now?
Man, I was talking to our kick returner today, Godwin, one of the running backs too.
Yeah.
And we were just talking, about special teams and stuff. And I was just telling him, I'm like, and then Coach T was talking in our meeting today. And like, how Coach T is.
Come on, get me going, man. Get me right. Coach T gonna have you right. Let's go.
Coach T had you ready to play right now. I'm in the team. Just how he was just talking, like I literally got a feeling over myself. Like, I'm like, man, like you got to just really, because like I said, I was a football junkie. Like I watched so much football, like growing up. I mean, when I was little, like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, like I would literally go on rosters, like write people's name, make my own team. I was that type of. So I'm like, I'm literally going on a road game in a hostile environment in Buffalo on a playoff game. I'm like, what else would you want?
Come on,
like,
that's what you're doing for.
No other, exactly. There's no other way you could write it. And I'm like, and and to get in how we got in and had to fight, how we had to fight and
Mm-hmm.
overcome adversity. I'm like, I was just telling him, I'm like, man, I said we're prime. Like
Yeah.
that feeling like I just got a feeling like I'm just, just ready. Like that's all I can say is I'm just ready. Like the moment and everything is like, I feel like it's just all coming into one and just like the perfect timing.
Man, you getting us hype over here. I'm just throwing it out there right now, man. That's that energy we
Man.
like. That's that energy. Come on,
Yes,
baby.
sir.
Yeah.
Ready, man. Ready. Let's do it. Let's kick it off now.
Facts.
All right, this is probably like a 2 or 3 part question. Going back to selecting Memphis as your college, your dad went there. That was his alma mater. So I know that played into you going there, but I also saw that you went as a walk-on to play football. So first part of that is, what were your other offers? What were your options for playing football in college, and why specifically Memphis? But then also I saw that you like demanded, or it was like non-negotiable, that you were also going to play track while you're playing football in college. Can you talk about that as well?
You big time them like that?
Okay, I gotta explain it. So
Yo,
look,
all right.
so
Hear this
yeah,
one. Yeah.
right. So my dad did go to Memphis, and so growing up, obviously, we would go to the games and stuff, but we used to be like growing up, we used to be sorry. Like we'll be winning like 3 games max was how many
Yo.
games you winning. You would go to Kroger,
Oh, man.
buy $5 tickets wherever they are. You'll be able to come sit down as close as far as you can, and everyone knows you leave at halftime because we're getting beat real bad. That was the whole way it went. And so and then D'Angelo came.
I was going to ask, did you get any of D'Angelo down there?
Yeah, and so D'Angelo came, and just the whole city was like, like encaptured by
Shout
him
out to
and
D-Lo.
everything.
Yeah.
And so just knowing that history and everything of how what he did for Memphis, I'm like, you know what, Memphis, we kind of on the down right now. But when D'Angelo was there, he had the city rocking. Like all eyes was on him. He was a top recruit, but he still came to Memphis. You know what I'm saying? And so growing up, I was like, that's how I'm gonna be.
Yeah, you're from there too.
I'm
Yeah.
senior,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have every offer, Power 5. And that time, I was with the uniforms and the speed. I was thinking, I was like, Oregon gonna want me. Ole Miss.
Okay. James Madison University. Heck yeah, baby.
Right.
Yeah.
I was like, all those schools gonna want me, and I'm gonna say, you know what? I'm staying home to play for Memphis. So that was my whole dream and everything. And so I was going to. So then fast forward in high school and stuff, I went to camps, the Memphis camps like 2-3 times a year, right? And so I would always perform well and everything, but they never offered. So going into senior year that summer in high school, I was like really waiting for Memphis to offer, but my dad was like, yo, we gotta at least, look at some other schools and stuff like that. Cause I wasn't getting recruited. So we gotta at least look at some other schools and stuff like that. So I was getting recruited, but not by the schools that I had won.
Right.
So that summer going into my senior year in high school, I visited Columbia and Penn. Cause it was because I did pretty well in my ACT
Ivy
school,
League.
so,
Okay.
yeah, and so that's what I was. And my dad was telling me we got at least. So we went to there. We went to tour both of those schools, and I think I went to Columbia football camp and everything because they wanted to see me in person and stuff.
It's like Marcellus Wiley School. Yeah. Heck
yeah.
Uh-huh.
And so I had the opportunity to I did the find because Ivy League it's a scholar, it's an offer, but it's
different.
You gotta go through financial aid still. You know what I'm saying? And so I was like, obviously my parents was like, man, it's a great opportunity. And I'm like, yeah, it's a great opportunity, great education. You'll get a good job and stuff after. But it's like, I was like, I'm trying to go to the league and I want to play and I want to do it and come from Memphis. Like, yeah, school, education, cool and all. But you know how we are. I'm like,
I know.
I want to play football. And so
I can come back for this education, but I can come back and get this, man.
And so visited them and stuff. And so this is now high school track season. So what this is like February, March time. And so I was obviously, putting up some good times and stuff. And so the Memphis track coach started recruiting me. And with the first day he came, I told him, I was like, look, I want to go to Memphis. I want to play for Memphis. But the only way I'm a run track is if I can play football. And so he talked to the football coaches the next day, And they were like, yeah, we can offer him a preferred walk on, so I won't have to like actually, try out.
Right,
But
yeah.
he can join the summer program and stuff like that. And so I'm like, he presented to me, and so at that time I'm thinking I'm the best thing since sliced bread,
Yeah.
right? So I'm like, man, I said I ain't a preferred walk on. Like I feel like I'm the best athlete in this state. Like
Talk
I
your
feel so
talk.
y'all in my
Yeah.
own city gonna offer me a walk on. And so, I talked to my dad and everything, and he was like, man, when you go to make a decision like this, go into a place like this, like you have to make sure that it's a place you want to go.
Yeah.
Don't do anything just like as a settle, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, if Memphis is a place you want to go, he was like, we'll have to do whatever we have to do to pay whatever, but like, like go to a place where you want to be and want to go. And so I was like, you know what, let me go and put my pride to the side. And so I told the track coach and football coach, I'll take that offer and walk on. And that's the thing is, because some people was like, oh, you was on scholarship for track. So it's called the what's it called? It's called the Bear Bryant rule, because he would recruit players for
football, but put them on track scholarships.
Track scholarship for the same
to get an extra.
Exactly. So
yeah.
you can't be on if you play football, you can't have a scholarship in another sport. And so I'm like, so I had to, because I could have, I could have been a full ride track scholarship guy, but I was like, I have to play football. Like that's the only reason I'm going to school, like because football is my love.
Yeah.
I love track too, but football is like what I feel like I was born to do. And so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna bet on myself and take that preferred walk on offer, and I just took it. And I didn't end up getting put on scholarship till after my redshirt sophomore year, which was my third season. So that's when I got put on scholarship and everything, and I guess the rest is history.
Now, that's interesting to hear that part specifically at the end. Them not putting you on scholarship until your third year. Did you ever have any point in time when you thought about leaving? Because we know, obviously, man, transferring is a big thing now. But to hear that they didn't just, open up the checkbook that following season, you had to wait a little bit. Did that play any role in your decision?
So I did. So early on, like those first 3 years, like the first 2 years, so the first year obviously redshirted. Second year I played in like a total of like 4 games that were like blowouts. And so, but the first game I played in, I scored like an 83-yard jet sweep, like my second time touching the ball. And so, like, I'm thinking, I said, oh yeah, this is the turnaround for this season. I'm finna be used and everything. But that time in Memphis, like we were sending out on that team. It was Tony Pollard, Antonio Gibson, Patrick Taylor, Kenny Gainwell. Like we had some
the
real
guys. Y'all had guys. Yeah.
We had some guys. And so that I didn't I didn't, get that I didn't get opportunity then. And so going into that third year is when I started playing. I got put on scholarship. So everything was great. So I didn't have thoughts of leaving or anything, because I was like, this is where I want to be. But the crazy part is going after that COVID season. That was my first year starting, because our starter opted out. I went for 1,000 yards and everything. And, after that season, I had some schools that I never thought would because I was considering whether to come out or come back. I had some schools that I never thought of was with contact with me, like Georgia, Florida State. And I'm like, yeah. And that was a crazy thing to me. I said, I went from dreaming. I'm like, I used to dream, said I was going to have those opportunities. And like, I'm literally on the phone with them, talking to them, seeing and everything. But,
and now you turning them down.
Right. And then my receiver coach John Simon, he told me, he was like, man, those are great opportunities, but he was like, this is your city. Like you bet it on yourself to come and play for your hometown. You bet on yourself. And he was like, you want to always know that, like, of course I could have always came back, but he was like, staying and leaving your legacy here, like, the city will forever like appreciate you and love you for that. Because, nowadays, and it wasn't even that crazy back then, nowadays, like, shoot, if you got only if you don't have 1,000 yards, dudes up and leaving.
They gone.
You know, they
Seriously,
ain't
they're not waiting. Yeah.
They ain't happy. So I was like, you know, that actually makes sense. And I was like, you know what, you're right, coach. And I was like, my heart was already telling me I wanted to stay at Memphis, but hearing Georgia, Florida State, like how that's kind of hard not to at least be like, man, I want to. But you know what? That was gonna be me doing it for outside opinions, though, for real. Like showing, yeah, I can go to Georgia. I did this, and now I'm at Georgia. Or now I'm at Florida State. Now I'm at this school, but not when, I was like, this is the right time.
No, without a doubt, I like that though, man. Good to hear the loyalty, and that's what one day I was like, yo, it had to be some reason to make you stay. That's dope, man. All right. So we got a couple more questions after that, man. We'll obviously, let you get up out of here. But you get drafted and you come here to play for Coach Tomlin. Now, fans, media, former players, we always talk about Coach T. Everybody knows, a lot about him. But at the same time, you're a guy that's living it every single day with him. From your perspective, what is it about Coach T that makes him so unique as a leader to you?
It's kind of hard to put into words, honestly. I mean, just for one, you're gonna get like 100% out of him, and you know that like he's gonna have the team in the perfect position, the perfect everything to succeed and win. And it's really hard to explain because it's just like I was telling somebody the other day, like when you walk in the building with when you walk in the stadium with Coach T, you feel like, yeah, we here, we ready to knock some fools out. You feel
straight
me?
like that, bro. You know the energy.
So it's just he has the ability to instill even more confidence in a person than they already know, and it can come through a variety of ways, whether that's motivating, challenging. He puts everything. What do you say? If you give a capable man information, he can do the rest. So like he just always puts, like, you gonna always know the job. You gonna always know
he giving you the answers to the test. He giving them to you
and play. Yeah, like, and it's just, man, that's why I say it's just hard to put into words. Like, and like I said, we're so blessed to have been coached by him that other people really wouldn't truly understand no matter what you say, like just the impact he has on just being a coach and like his players and like how we all just like rally and we like rally for Coach T, because like it's like we make a play in the game, we like, yeah, Coach T talked about this. Yeah, I made that play, Coach.
Hey, he told me all week. Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I see you. PPP. I feel you. I'm with you. Yeah. He's like, how don't you want to go out there and ball out,
bro?
Like, how don't you want to? Like, he on the sideline talking trash for you.
I swear.
He can't guard you. Like, what? Go ahead, coach saying that? Yeah, you know what? Because I'm going to show you he can't guard.
Facts, man. He in it with us, man. 10 toes down.
In it with you. No, you said it best right there. You know he's in it with you.
Yeah.
You know that.
No, that's absolutely the facts right there, man.
Hey, now I got 2 fan questions here. Then I'm going to pass it back to Moats for his final question. But this is in relation to pretty much what you were just talking about there with Coach T and being prepared on game days. This is from Logan H. Asked, does the special teams unit have routine conversations about plays/situations like that play that your kick returner, Igwebuike, did just this last Sunday? Says it was awesome.
Detailing that work, all right.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. And if anybody know Danny Smith, everybody know Danny Smith don't play about his special team.
Man, love Danny. Let's go.
Yeah, Danny don't play about his special team, man. People that come to the coach don't not be joking like, man, Danny get the most meeting time.
I swear.
Yeah, Danny gonna get his time. And even in practice, like, he gonna get every rep too. Oh, the horn blew? Nah, Danny finna finish his period.
Talk.
Replay that punt. Do that again. Like, and so, yeah, it's to say, but we literally cover everything, you know what I'm saying? So that's like, it's sometimes kind of funny too, because I was talking to just like some of my like cousins and stuff, and they were just like, oh, so what do? You wake up and go to practice? I'm like, yeah, but it's like, it's a whole day, like
it's a job, bro.
We have meetings, we have, walkthroughs and then meetings again and then go over what we just practiced. So it's like people think it's just like sometimes just happens. I'm like,
bruh.
nah, y'all, this stuff just don't happen. We really like put in time, work, and everything.
And think about it, you've been doing it, since the off season. April time
Exactly.
frame when OTA start up. So it's not like this is your first time going over it. Sometimes your fourth, fifth time by the time you get to it in the season, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's just like that's why sometimes people be like, oh, that dude didn't know or something like that. But it's like, sometimes in big situations, like people just kind of like, and that's what it is. It's
Pressure.
about putting the learning to the field. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like everybody usually in this level of professional football, if somebody makes just a huge error, it's usually not because they didn't know. It's just sometimes the moment is too big, or just in some circumstances they just are not either locked in or just forget. But it's like in professional football, you're going to know usually everything's gonna be covered. You know what I'm saying? So at that time, it's just up to you to know that when that thing happens in game to execute.
Nah, I would always remember, man, they would talk about performance under pressure. And that'd be the big difference. It's like anybody can walk on a 2x4 that's, sitting right here on the ground. You not tripping on it. You take that same 2x4, put it on a skyscraper. You like, holy smokes. And it's like,
now you start
it's the same piece that you walking on. Yeah. But you in your own head now. And that's 100%, when you're out there, that is the difference with some of them dudes, man. Absolutely.
So you weren't shocked at all by Igwebuike's play?
Oh, no, not at all.
Oh, wow. Okay. That was the first time I've ever seen that. No joke.
True. Oh, yeah. It's been a couple plays. It's been one or two other players that had did it on a kick return. And obviously, we watched it and stuff, talk about it, everything. Because, it's 25. And that's the thing. Like, people think, like, Danny always go over this. Like, people think when the ball go out of bounds, it's put at the 40. No, it's put 25 yards from where the ball is kicked. So if you was backed up in that situation, it would be 40 yards from the spot of the ball. So it's like, it'd be 25 yards from the spot of the kick. So it's like,
talk them details, man. Talk the details.
Yeah, but exactly.
Now you got to detail your work though, baby.
This one's from X Concepts again. This is the second one. Got some good questions today. He says, how's it feel knowing Sauce Gardner showed respect, saying that you were the hardest receiver he had to cover in college?
He did say that. That is facts.
Oh, yeah. There was a lot of respect. I got a great respect for his game, his work ethic and stuff, because, we trained we was with the same training group at Exos in Frisco, Texas for the pre-draft. I was with like a great group. I had
Exos a dope facility too, man. They got a little that's fun.
Yeah,
spot,
I was with some great guys, and we all just pushed each other, competitive. Like we was all talking trash about who's gonna have the fastest time. We actually competing though, but getting each other better. And you know how it's like sometimes people get a reputation and stuff like that, but like a guy like Sauce, dude, super cool, down to earth. Like he was. We was helping him, he was helping us, and just to hear that, it just it just goes a long way, because you know how it is, like to get that honor and respect from your people
peers,
you play against, that's like the highest, that's like the biggest one you can get, and so it's been cool, and it was definitely great to compete against him and to see how great he's doing in the league now.
No, 100%. You're right. That is some of the best feelings ever, man, when your peers are like, nah, man, I respect this. I respect that about your game. 100%. Yep. And, man, just thinking back to what you were just talking about, right, in terms of when you're training and you go off away before the combine and stuff, that's some of the best times, because you do build some dope relationships that last for, a good amount of time, especially while y'all all playing in the league at the same time. So, man, that is definitely good to hear, man.
100%. Yep. That's man. I done made some great friends, like, guys like Pierre Strong, Brees Hall, Traylon Burks, Eric Ezukama, like all my training, Tyler Goodson, man.
You never forget them. Y'all be locked in. Absolutely.
Yeah, like that. We was locked in. That's what I said, and we just constantly pushed each other, challenged each other. And I mean, we had that time, like that Exos, our facility, man, we put up some crazy numbers. But none of us were surprised just because of all of our work ethic there. So like you said, man, you forged some great relationships.
No, I like that, man. Well, shoot, the last one I got for you, and you've been absolutely phenomenal too, man. I just want to throw that out there to you, man. But we always talk about that moment, right, when we're transitioning from college to the NFL. And we talk about that moment we realize, you know what, man, I ain't in college no more. It's the big leagues now, man. And we typically call it that welcome to the NFL moment. Usually, you know, it's not the best of situations, but we respect it and we'll never forget it. So if you could, talk about your welcome to the NFL moment.
So mine would probably, because when I knew, let me see, my welcome to the NFL moment would probably be in training camp. And it's not even the one where, you know, me and TJ got into it a little bit because he made a crazy tackle on me, but it would be watching. It was one of the first camp practices, and we would try to run a screen to his side, and he picked it off. And Coach Tomlin had got mad, and he was like, "That's a wasted rep. Why would you script that to TJ?" I'm like, wait, what you mean it's a wasted rep? Why would you script that? He threw a screen, like he just made a. Then I'm like, I'm like, oh wait.
You wasted time calling screenplays to TJ Watt in practice, bro. Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm really thinking. Then the more I watched, it all clicked. I was like, no.
Yeah. You pissed off. You wasted time.
You can't play. You don't play around with stuff like that. In college, you can try somebody, see what they gonna.
You don't try
him. Like, nah, you really are wasting. Like, that's a wasted rep for everybody because you know that's not gonna fly. He does it literally in game. So why would you think to do it in practice? I was like, oh yeah, this level requires a little more detail and skill and thoughtfulness. I'm like, yeah. So in practice, everyone knows that coach gonna get mad at the OC because it's like, why are you scripting a jet sweep to TJ? Why are you
none of that to TJ? Yeah.
Why are you running that stuff? Why are you booting the TJ? You don't do that stuff. And I'm like, wow, like. Players at this level are literally that good where certain things you don't even, their resume precedes themselves.
Hey, you don't even, this is in practice. This is in practice we're talking about.
And that's why I was confused.
All right, this is practice we're talking about. No, you wasted time.
We wasted. I'm like, oh no, I'm like, yeah, let's run the other side. Let's actually try to get some work in. Let's, because the defense not going to even be able to do no chase angles.
Everything is shut down because he makes the play too fast. Yeah, he makes the play too good.
Too over. Play over. That's when I was like, okay, yeah, this the NFL. This different. I had never heard that. I had never knew you could convince me that certain players you can run certain things to. And then on the line, especially a pass for an outside linebacker, I'm like, bro, it's a screen. That's a pass play.
They be like, yo, check his tape, bro. Just check his tape. Yeah.
Check the tape.
Check the tape, bro. Just check his tape. His tape hot. Don't screen. Don't draw. Don't none of that. Hot. Tape is hot.
So yeah, I would say that was my welcome to the NFL moment. I was like, yeah, this is real.
No, I like that right there, man. Major respect. Well, shoot, like I said, that was all we have for you today, man. It was a great convo, man. We wish you nothing but the best. Like I said, big fans of you over here, man. So, like I said, keep being great and go take care of business on Sunday, man.
Yes, sir. Great to talk to y'all. I appreciate y'all for having me on.
No, major respect, baby.